4 savvy business owners ready to make a pragmatic investment. 7 hopeful entrepreneurs in search of the finances necessary to take their ideas to the next level. Who will invest and who will be sent home with nothing? What will it take to grab the attention of someone with the power to make your dream come true? I am your host, Kevin Hope. Let's do this.
Do you have any data locally that you can share with us that would speak to the women on the ground here?
The data will not be accurate in terms of figures, but what I can say in working with young women while I was overseas and since I've gotten back here, it's a very high percentage of women that are going through some of these issues.
Challenges that your customer is unable to afford your service. And that's the bridge that really has to be gapped.
On this episode of Let's Do This, meet Anastasha Elliott, the founder and owner of Sugartongue Organics.
My name is Anastasha Elliott. I am the CEO of Sugartongue Organics. The training sessions have allowed me to sort of take a new look at my business in the space that we are currently in with COVID and all the effects that have happened. And to see what I have accomplished over the last few years, and to see where I can go next based on what is happening and what I can forecast and what is being forecasted internationally that affects me here in St. Kitts and Nevis. My biggest takeaway, I would say, is just being able to bring my business forward into the present moment. When it comes to our pitch deck, because things change in business, especially my business, it changes quite rapidly. There are a lot of new technology that comes out that change the way you do formulation and stuff like that. So it was an opportunity for me to sort of catch up and sort of bring my business and just my focus, narrow it down into really what I can do now and what is needed now. You never really feel ready for anything, especially when it comes to pitching, because you're up there bearing basically your soul of your business to somebody that you don't know. You really have no idea how they're going to feel, if they're going to be receptive or anything. And so you're always coming from a position where you're nervous, but you're also enthusiastic because this is your passion, this is what you love doing, and you're going to share it with someone new. So for me, it's just that whole experience of sharing what I'm doing with someone new. And this is if I can convince them to become part of my tribe, of course, and just can help me on this journey that I'm on to do better and be better and just to serve the people that I do serve. Hi, my name is Anastasha Elliott. I am the CEO of Sugartongue Organics. We create organic products. We produce 4 brands: Yaffine, Marapa, Baba's Lullaby, and Floria Foods. In addition to those, we also offer classes for persons who would like to learn a little bit about what we do. It came about through experiences in my childhood. There was a lot of things I couldn't eat that my friends could. And so for me, I had this goal that I would make all those things my mother would say no to me eating. And then she was diagnosed with cancer when I was about 12. And then there was a whole lot of other things I couldn't eat. Right? So everybody else around me is eating, conkles and pasta and all this stuff, and I couldn't unless we made it. And so I got into the habit of making stuff. And through that experience with my mother, and I saw how she was able to use food to get healthy again, it started me thinking about the possibilities food had for us to maintain healthy lifestyles, to repair damage, to get back to good health if we're sick, even terminally ill. I started the business in 2010. I was frustrated with work. A lot of the things that I saw was happening, especially that women, bosses who would threaten you with sex and things like that. And I was over it. And I had this goal that by the time I was 30, I would have my own business. Not like a business that I would start, because I've been doing businesses since I was like 8, selling this or that. I wanted something that I could hand off to my children. And I remember in 2012, I was working as a pastry chef at Carambola, straight out of college. And I told my boss at the time, his name was Cameron, I'm not coming back. I'm starting my own business. And he thought I meant I was starting a pastry business, right? So I remember he gave me all his books, and I was like, why are you giving me these books? And he's like, that's the dream of every pastry chef, they want to have their shop. And I was like, yeah, but it's temporary. It ran for 4 years. It turned into a bespoke ice cream parlor and cake shop out of my house. And then I had to transition. I forced myself to transition because it was going well. People were coming and we were doing really good, but it wasn't what I wanted to do. And so I had a conversation with my mom, and I was like, I need to use the family recipes to start. And she was like, well, you can use some, but not all, right? Because these recipes have been handed down for generations, so they're very protective of them. And so I had to really pitch to her what I wanted to do, and to get that permission from her. For me, investment is always a good step, right? It's what I need to get to a next step. And so for me, the next step is export. It's something that we are exploring already.
The pitch room, where a panel of seasoned investors can take one's future to new heights. Will their pitches appeal to the panel and go on to soar above the clouds? Or will they remain in the sea of endless dreams? These are our investors. Daniel Arterton, an experienced business consultant and farmer at the Nevis Hydro Gardens. Cashmin Hope, an energetic business sales manager at the Cable. Giselle Matthews, a pioneer in her own right and the owner and managing director of the Harper's Business Depot. Amir Sabnani, the no-nonsense general manager of Rams Trading Limited.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Anastasha Elliott. I am the CEO of Studio327 Organics, and this is my pitch deck. We are a global social enterprise offering premium and highly niche products to support healthy lifestyles. We are a decentralized pro-consumer network community and retail ecosystem. We are creating value through ethical manufacturing of holistic products to support health and wellness goals. Our values, we use fresh ingredients always. We are vegan, cruelty-free. We plant-based, so we have a small garden in our yard that we source from. We also source from organic farmers that are located across St. Kitts and Nevis. And we operate on the premise of each one teach one. The problem that I saw, because of my situation going through that cancer scare with my mother, I saw the potential food had to repair damage and the lack of healthy food to create situations where people were ailing and sick and dying unnecessarily. And so because of that situation, you could say I was open to what was happening. So I noticed things, right? And as I grew, I saw a trend where as the food choices changed, we became sicker and sicker and sicker. And I wanted to create something that, put a stop or even had a positive impact on what I was seeing, right? I started doing research and I realized that a lot of the products that we were using weren't made for us. And they contain a lot of ingredients that was contributing to us being sick. And so I came up with the idea because of what happened with my mother. I remember having this conversation with her and I said, I don't like what I'm seeing. She's a medic, right? So she was always telling me stories about people that she was looking after and some of the simple actions that she put them through that get them back to good health. And so I asked her if she would mind if I used some of our legacy recipes to start a business. I had to do that whole ask first. And so I came up with Studio327 Organics, offering plant-based wellness and beauty solutions to support personal healthy goals. I also wanted to build a lot of our cultural practices into what I was doing. So it became really focused on the Caribbean space and not something that, looked like something that was coming in from outside. I wanted people to resonate with it. The market that I saw, looking at doing my own research, the US Carrefour market is valued at 170 billion when it comes to health and wellness products. Right? I can't support that whole market on my own. And so for me, targeting just small percent, 1% of that market, looking at my population, which I target is females 15 to 64, that made up about 67% of the population that I was targeting. So I figure if we target just 1% of that population with an average spend of $36 monthly, we could generate $290,000 in a year span. And so the products we came up with was skincare, hair care, bath and body products, baby products, because then children need good healthy products as well, condiments and accompaniments, and of course our wearable technology. We market through various means. We use social media, newsletters, and our blogs. We participate in regional and international trade shows. We use traditional media. We use promotional material, flyers and such. We sponsor local events. We also put on events, such as our creative entrepreneurship camp, which is happening right now. We use word of mouth. We pop up at a lot of different craft shows, festival, and night markets. We also use affiliate marketing. Right. Our business model, we do business to business, so we sell directly to businesses who might resell. We sell directly to consumer. We also do gifting services, so for agencies who are doing gifts for VIP guests, we provide particular gifts for them, which we don't sell generally. We also have our e-commerce website, sugartownorganics.com. We have grown quite a bit over the last couple of years. We work with various partners, Caribbean Export, City Shop USA, who do a lot of promotion for stateside. We work with the Single Processors, IFM Boy, Art and Craft Fashion Show. We also work through a lot of the ministries to get products to different areas. So when we had products in Taiwan, we went through the diplomatic office there, the same with Canada, the US, London. All right? We participate in a lot of food shows that way, piggybacking on the offices that are on the ground that are singles. And so today, with my pitch deck, we are asking for US $250,000, and this is how we plan to spend it, in phases where we're protecting our trademarks, of course, because that is very important when it comes to export. We need to incorporate our company, and of course, marketing. Sugartown Organics is meant to be a family legacy, and so for any investment, it will be for short term. Right? You can always reinvest at the end of the term, and we cap your revenue that you can get back for your investment at 3 times the amount. Okay? So that's it. Thank you.
Next on Let's Do This.
Building a single brand takes capital, branding effort, manufacturing effort, sales effort. Are you open to somebody who may be able to help you?
It is very clear from your presentation that you have had the benefit of good guidance. And I realize you also have some very tight strictures with you in terms of your financial considerations from the investor point of view. So I'm going to keep that in abeyance for a bit and deal with some of the technical aspects. You did speak to the key areas of expansion for which you're seeking the financing. On a technical ground, you spoke to organics. I know it is something that we state here, but there's a definition for organics that you cannot be within a 3-mile radius of anyone who is using chemical. And I think that is going to be difficult to do. I do understand you making the statement, and I think that's why you said it, that the shade house would give you consideration for controlled atmosphere. But in the strictest sense, for FDA approval, you're going to have a challenge with that. if someone legally challenged. Equipment. I heard you speak to plant considerations. What sort of plant we're thinking of? Because I have a follow-up to ask you. What's consideration are we thinking about here?
So for me, our need, what we do need, based on what we're trying to accomplish now, is a space that we can split into two basically, where we do food on one side and the music on the other. Because there are strict control when it comes to food and when it comes to music.
Yes.
So what can be and cannot be done. Right? We do have some machinery that is on the way, like filler machines, essential. Distillers, I just saw distillers.
Distillation machines.
Yeah, those are
For
expensive.
extraction of oils from
Yeah,
leaves.
it's expensive to bring in, so for me
Right.
it's cheaper for me to do it locally. And again, that control factor is very important.
The consideration, some cost consideration, supply chain irregularities, supply chains inconsistencies, both local and thing. And I'm going to give you an example. In Jamaica, you heard of wildwood or the jerk seasoning. And what they do is that they have several persons who provide that. For Erica in St. Vincent, she has farmers that bring her peppers to her. Susie's in Antigua, similar situation. Do you have such a supply chain?
Yes, we do have multiple farmers who produce certain ingredients, both here in St. Vincent and Dominica.
Building a single brand takes capital, branding effort, manufacturing effort, sales effort. Are you open to somebody who may be able to help you or be interested in helping you grow one brand and not
All of them?
all of them?
Yes, we do that. A lot of the training has been focused that way, focus on one brand as opposed to all of them.
And what do you need aside from funds from an investor who's dealing with the commercial side of your business?
So that would be a big help. I'm open to releasing activities, so to speak, and letting someone else take over with certain aspects. Of course, when it comes to recipes, I have to keep that because it's particularly still with family.
Right. Yeah.
Yes.
One of the things that I see, and I've thought of before and I see it today, is the brands. You have a lot going on. And my advice would be that you do focus. One name sometimes speaks 1,000 words like that. One name, Sugartown, very catchy, white sugar, singing our history. Used to be known as Sugar City. Okay, so we don't have sugar, but that doesn't matter. We built ourselves on that. And that's a catchy name, easy to remember. Whether we take Danny's advice with the organics, which he makes a very good point. You might need to rebrand eventually if that's the route you go. But streamlining your brand. If you're going to go into a market that is going to, and don't discount that tourist market. Everyone who comes to a destination, no matter where it is, they want a gift to take back. And they want something authentic from that country, from that place that they visit.
Coming up on Let's Do This.
One thing I'm seeing is a dream, and the other thing I'm seeing is a commercial application. So while the hills and this whole story is great, we have to look at utility and infrastructure, right? The benefit you have is I think any of those products that you pull out with, and that you really work on their scope.
Have you applied for agricultural land?
Yes.
no success.
Not yet.
I'm hoping that our investors on the board can help with that somehow, because I believe that it would be a great help for you.
Yes, it would be.
Advertise. It's just like, well, I can only speak on the Navy side of things because my family have agricultural land. And I guess Danny can interject because he also have agricultural land. And he's a farmer, right? And it's just a few $100s annually. And I believe if you have something like that, then, you know, that's a really big opening for you. So that's something that
I'm seeing two things here, right? One thing I'm seeing is a dream, and the other thing I'm seeing is a commercial application. So while the hills and this whole story is great, we have to look at utility and infrastructure, right? And while you want to have a factory and produce in scale, you also have to be cognizant of the practical aspects of doing business, okay? There's a choice to make here. I've never seen anybody successfully be a branding professional, a sales professional, a product development professional, and also a farmer, right? The scale that it's going to take there is huge if you want to create a globally recognized local product, okay? Here's my suggestion. Just like you have to slim down your product line and really zero in on what you want to be known for. And I'm concerned that the amount of management required to be in both industries isn't there. Right? So a decision needs to be made where your target market is and what your product offering is. The benefit you have is, I think, any of those products that you pull out the hat and that you really work on, their scope.
What we're looking at here is that we look at the configuration of your business, and one of the things that come to mind to address, to right size an enterprise budget, enterprise budgeting for the 4 different enterprises should be done, because you could be loving one, and that's where you're taking the profits from and paying for that. I speak from experience. So you have to understand what is happening. The second thing is a realignment of your business model with a best practice right now, where you will be able to extract, according to one of my colleagues, a higher profit, is that you align yourself with something that's called ESG marketing, or ESG. You become an ESG business. It's environmental, social, and governance. And I'm sure your coach will tell you that shows you, it's just like, it changes your value of the product that you're taking to the market. Actually, sometimes it doubles or triples the value, because there are people, very wealthy people, who they look for products that has that alignment in order to do that. But this is a very good, well-researched, well-documented, but like I said, the fundamentals of economics. You have to make sure that you'll probably have to punish your emotions and the social side. So we understand your mother and the legacy, but one would probably have to deal with the metrics of sustainability and forthrightness in the legal documentation that are presented before negotiating parties.
Your goal here is not to give up equity in your business. Your goal here is to be loaned money, to be returned at 3 times whatever, right? So the question really is, if I take out $25,000 and lend it to you now for your first part, right? With the anticipation of getting back $70,000, $75,000. What's your payment schedule for that $75,000? Have you given that any thought?
Honestly, not as much thought as you need to.
Right. Okay. Right. So again, I can't say the catchphrase as much as I'd like to until I have that information. But provided I receive a schedule and the schedule meets my approval, I have no issue lending you the first round of funding.
It's something I can do and get back to you.
Right. That's number one. Number two, if you're willing to incorporate the soap brand separately and looking for a partner to grow and develop the soap brand with, I am also interested. And I have some ideas I'd like to share with you on how I feel we could grow a soap brand.
Our soap brand.
I'm really, really happy for Anastasia. I think that she's doing a brilliant job with her brand.
Absolutely ecstatic for her, for Anastasia and for Sugartown Organics. She has an excellent product line. She has a strong foundation in business. She started from, obviously a homegrown sort of cottage industry.
It feels awesome to support Sugartown Organics. Floriel's very smart. I think she has her head on about what she's doing. And I think very few people are creating different indigenous products. We see a lot of people doing the same.
And I just see her going to the completely new level. She may not have gotten what she came in asking for financially, but she got a good deal, I think, going out, and she's got a good person. Somebody strong in retail. He's young, he is passionate, he believes in her and her soaps. And I think he's gonna take her to, I think she's gonna be surprised. I think they're actually gonna make a really good partnership.
Sugartown Organics definitely had the benefit of counseling, mentorship, and guidance. So obviously the facts were well presented, but there's also what we're so close to the blackboard that we need to step back. And what is here is it's for some new eyes to be put on this project. And I think, as I've suggested to her, that she should realign her project with ESGs, which is now the new branding standard globally for things ethical, things social. So it is economic, social, and governance, ESG.
I feel like I really missed out on an opportunity there. She's so good, her brand, beauty sells, hello? So who wouldn't want to be a part of that? And even though it seems as though the market is saturated, I don't believe so, because especially on the side of plant-based products, it's the in thing.
And I'm happy to support Floriel if our deal works out, either on her soaps or to provide her some assistance in order to propel her business forward.
So I was really excited, of course, that Anna received funding, I think significant funding for the first phase of her milestone pathway to where she wants to be. Anna has done phenomenal work on her own. It's really exciting to see her as a formulator, a chemist, creating these products that have already gone beyond our own boundaries. And so I think it was a natural type of relationship that would happen between herself and Amir, because as you know, or the public might not know, Amir, of course, is a retail king. And so the nature of her products, her soaps, her organic formulations, etc., I think it is a natural fit for the business that Amir is in. And I really would have been quite shocked if Anna had not been successful at receiving funding. Anna has a track record which she shared with the investors of attracting funding already through grants. Anna has a track record of exports. Anna has a track record of mentorship. Anna has a track record of attending accelerator and incubator programs. And just for the audience's knowledge, these are some of the major support systems that the research speaks to when it comes to female entrepreneurship, particularly Black female entrepreneurs, that they need mentorship, that they need to be part of accelerator programs and incubator programs in order to attract funding. And so she had already had all of those experiences and proven traction and quite a healthy revenue, having built this business from the ground up. So I was really excited about that.
Yeah, I'm excited. It was a good pitch, I think. We had some amazing feedback from the investors. And of course, someone willing to work with me, so that's awesome, always. There are things that I've thought about in terms of needing to niche down a bit. Being at a crossroad is how I do feel. And that I'm currently at a crossroads where my business is concerned. I've done a lot of work in a very short space of time. We've grown a lot in that space of time. And so really we're at a point where it's time for us to scale. We're not newbies anymore. We're not classified as MSME anymore. We're almost like a big business now. And so I do need to step up to that level. This is what we're seeing as. And so the comments were not anything that I was surprised by. The thoughts that I've had, my mentors have said it, my coaches have said it. Some of the work we've already started doing. So it was good. I didn't come in nervous. I would say that I wasn't nervous. I was pretty much like what I usually do. I say a prayer and it guide my footsteps, guide my speech, guide my actions, guide my thoughts, right? Present the best that I can. Let what I present resonate with someone who's willing to work with us on what we need to do. And so for me, it was the answer to that prayer in particular. And so I'm grateful, always.